House on the Rock Church. I miss you, but I understand it's going to soon be over because we're all fasting and praying about it, right? Right. I want to talk to you on a little bit different vein today, and that is we are now into about week 6 of this lockdown, stay away from everybody. And sometimes when you start out with a challenge, your faith is strong and you say, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. But then week 2, and then week 3, and then week 4, and now it's week 6, and you've been trapped at home with the same people all the time that you thought you knew, and you're finding out maybe I didn't, or you're being kept away from those you really need to be with. So it's a test on your patience and your faith. And Hebrews tells us that it's by faith and patience that we inherit the promise. So don't run out of patience while you are exercising your faith. And I want to talk to you about a little verse that phrase just jumped out at me this past week. I'm reading Hebrews 11, and I got down to verse 11, and you know Hebrews 11 is all about what people did through their faith. And this is Sarah. By faith, Sarah, who of course is Abraham's wife, herself also received strength to conceive seed, and she bore a child when she was past the age, because she judged him faithful who promised. We get to judge God. That's what she did. She judged him. You know, sometimes we try so hard to hang on to a promise, to claim a promise, and we forget the promiser. So I'm going to challenge you today. You be the judge. How do you judge God? How do you judge God after 5 weeks of this? How do you judge God? Some of you have been standing and standing and standing and believing for something for even years and years. Are you running out of patience? Is God looking, maybe he's not so good as what you thought he was? How do you judge him? We all do. We all do. And he's cool with it. I want you to know that. It's okay. But judge him faithful. Do you judge him faithful? It says here that when Sarah judged him faithful is when she received the power to conceive a seed. You know, she and Abraham had been given the promise of a child about 24 years previous to her judging him faithful. And nothing happened. No child. She even tried to make things work with her slave girl and Abraham, and it didn't work. That wasn't God's plan. But she finally got to the place where she said, okay, God, if you say so, I judge you to be faithful to your word. Do you judge God to be faithful to his word to you, to the church, to your family, for your finances, your health, for your prosperity, whatever it is? Do you judge him faithful? Do you know he can be nothing less than faithful? Faithful is who he is. First Peter mentions that he's a faithful creator. He was operating in faith and being a faithful God even at creation. Everything he does, I tried to make a list of the things that I know about him, that he is faithful. He's faithful to love you. He's faithful to never stop loving. He's faithful to give you peace. He's faithful to be with us all the time. He's faithful to heal, to deliver, to provide our needs. He's faithful to protect. He's faithful to give compassion. He's faithful to forgive, to give mercy, to give his grace. He's faithful. He can't help himself. That's who he is. He's faithful to always be fair and just. He's faithful to give us his wisdom. He's faithful to give us his word, and his word will never fail. He is faithful. He's faithful. Will you judge him as faithful? You know, it helped me to sit down this past week and just kind of rehearse my life and look at the things he's done. He's done so much, and every time he's faithful, and he missed every opportunity to not be faithful. And I gave him a really big one when I turned my back on him for a while. He could have not been faithful, but you know what? He is. He was. He always will be. And I want you to know he is from the beginning of the book to the end of the book. He's faithful. And then I read in Revelations, and I'm going to close with this. Now I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he who sat on him was called Faithful and True. He's faithful to the end. And then it goes on to say that he's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He's faithful. He's faithful. Do you dare judge him faithful? Because when you do, you can be at peace. You can be at peace. You can take your authority and speak the way you're supposed to. He's faithful. That's your challenge. Look at your life. Look at his word. And I dare you, judge him faithful because he is.